Okay, good day everyone. This is Teacher Justina and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those who are new, then do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and to comment below. Our video for today will be about solving system of nonlinear equation using substitution method. So let us explore. Okay, and we should not forget that a system of nonlinear equations can have no solution, and we will be having a possible no solution when we have or when we can obtain a complex number, or a system of nonlinear equation can have one solution or many solutions. So how do we solve the solution of a system of nonlinear equations using substitution? So solving system of nonlinear equation using substitution method, it involves isolation of a common expression in one of the equations and substituting the equivalent value of this expression into the other equation. Okay, let us now explore. Okay, so let us try this number one. We have the first equation is x equal to -3. The second equation, which is y equals x plus 3 squared minus 1. So let us have use the value of x in equation A, which is x is equal to -3. So therefore, if x is equal to -3, if x is equal to -3, then the second equation will be now given consideration that instead of we will be writing x in this equation B, we will be substituting -3 because according to equation A, x is -3. So therefore, let us try. So equation B is now taken, y is equal to, since the value of our x is -3, so we have minus 1. So y is equal to -3 plus 3, that is a 0. Minus 1 and square a 0 is of course a 0. So y is equal to -1. So our solution to this system is x is -3 and y is -1. So how do we know if this is the solution to our system? We are going to use the ordered pair, which is -3, -1. Okay, so using equation A, x is equal to -3. And of course, the ordered pair we have -3, -1. So -3 is equal to -3. So it's a check. It's true in equation A. Then how do we know if letter B equation is also true? Using -3, -1. So equation B, y is equal to x plus 3 square minus 1. So what is the value of our y? It's -1. So -1 is equal to, our x is -3, -3 plus 3, and that is minus 1. So -1, -3 plus 3 is equal to 0, and 0 squared is equal to 0 minus 1. So it's -1. So meaning the -3, -1 is already the solution to the system. Let us proceed number 2. Okay, number 2, y is equal to x squared. So the y is equal to x squared. In other words, in the second equation, instead of writing y, we will be now substituting the value of y by the value of y in the first equation. Again, the value of y in the first equation is x squared. So y is equal to x squared. So what is our equation B? Y is equal to -2x plus 3. So since the value of y is x squared, then we will substitute y into x squared. So -2x plus 3, write the remaining term. So let us proceed to transposing -2x to the left side. It will become positive 2x. The positive 3 becomes -3. So can we now solve the value of meaning the value of x in this time? Question, is this factorable? What are the factors of -3 that will give us a possible sum of positive 2? Would it be positive 3 and -1? If we will get the product of 3 times -1, it will give us -3. But if we will add the 3 and the negative 1, it will gives us a positive 2. So therefore, the factors or the roots, the value of x are 3 and negative 1 because it satisfies. The third term is negative 3, the middle is positive 2. So therefore, the factors of x squared plus 2x minus 3 are x plus 3 and x minus 1. So in this case, we will now get the first x, which is negative 3, and then the second x will be positive 1. So we are now ready getting the value of our y. So our value of y, we can use our it's either the first equation or the second equation. But let us try use the second equation. So what will be the value of x? I'm sorry, the value of y when x is equal to negative 3, because we have the values of x, we have the negative 3 and the positive 1. So let us use the second equation. Y equals to negative 2x plus 3. What will happen to y if x will be negative 3? So that will be y is equal to negative times negative. That will be positive 6 plus 3. Y is equal to 9. So first, the first ordered pair is negative 3, then positive 9. What will happen to the value of y if x is equal to positive 1? So we have the second equation, y is equal to negative 2 times 1, because we have the second equation, and then a plus 3. So we have y is equal to negative 2 times 1 will be negative 2 plus 3. Thus, y is equal to positive 1. So therefore, the second ordered pair will be, if x will be 1, then the y will be 1. So the negative 3, 9 and the 1, 1 are the solution to this system. So I will leave to you the checking. Let us try the next equation. System. Number 3. This time this is quite challenging because I'm sure that we will be getting the value of x in terms of y or y in terms of x. But so far, you try check as to what equation you will be using as getting the value of y in terms of x or x in terms of y. So far, the second equation will be easier compared to the first equation. Why? Because they are the x and y are involving exponent of 2. And in the equation 2, the y there is having a degree of 1. So let us try use equation B. Negative 2x squared plus y is equal to 7. We will be getting the value of y in terms of x from this equation B. So y will be, the negative 2x squared will be transposed, that will become positive 2x squared. And then that 7 will be remain as positive 7. So this is already the value of y in terms of x. Remember, we are using B. This time, we will be getting the value of the x and y, but the numerical value this time. So since we are using equation B, we will be now using equation A. So equation A is x squared plus y squared is equal to 6. So the x squared plus y squared is equal to 6. The y will be substituted, by 2x squared plus 7. So instead of writing y, we will be writing 2x squared plus 7. That will be for the y. And still there is a 2 as an exponent. So what shall we do next? We will be expanding this one. So this is a square of a binomial. So how do we expand this? So this is a square of a binomial. So the first step there is square the first term. So our first term is 2x squared. So square 2x squared, that will be 4x to the 4. Plus twice the product of the first and the second. So what is our first? 2x squared. And then plus times 7, so that will be 14x squared. Okay? And then plus squaring the last term, which is 49. And that positive 6 will be now transposed. That will become negative 6. So that will be equal to 0. So what is the next step? We have x squared plus 4x to the 4 plus, we have to multiply them, 28 x squared plus, what is 49 minus 6? That will be 43 is equal to 0. So if we will be arranging them as to decreasing order, we will write the 4x to the 4 plus the 28 and the x squared. The 28x squared and the x squared can be combined. That will be 29x to the power of 2 plus 43. So since the value, since the highest degree is 4, we will be expecting that there will be 4 possible values of x. But how do we find the value of x in this case? Okay, so I think you remember the synthetic division. So synthetic division, we will be trying to look for the values of x from the last term or from the constant. So since our constant is 43, what will be the possible factors of 43? But remember, we have all positive. So the possible factors of 43 are 43 and 1 only. Okay, so since 43 and 1, how do we know if the 43 is uh, one of the values of our x? Okay, so we are going to use synthetic division. So how do we solve for the value of x using synthetic division? So synthetic division is simply, we are going to try check if that one is a, a possible value of our x by writing this. So synthetic division is by writing all the numerical coefficient in descending order. So x to the 4, it has a 4, but there's no cube. So we have to have a 0 representing the x cube part, followed by x squared. So there a 29. And there's no x to the power of 1. So we have to have a 0 and a constant, which is 43. So synthetic division, we have written already the numerical coefficients. This is x to the 4, this is x to the 3, this is x to the 2, and this is x to the 1, and this is the constant. So what shall we do first? We are going to bring down the first, which is 4. After that, we will multiply the 1 times 4. We have a 4. Then you will add them vertically. So 0 plus 4 is 4. We will multiply the 1 times 4. So it will be 4. And you will now add 29 plus 4. That will be 33. And then 1 again times 33 will be 33. And again, 0 plus 33 is 33, and then 1 times 33 is 33. Now, if it will not answer a 0, it is still a constant other than 0. So meaning the 1 is not a factor, is not a possible value of x. In other words, we can only say that 1 is a value of x if on the last part, the constant part, their sum is 0, but it's not a 0. So therefore, we will now declare that this system has no solution. And remember, the possibility if you will graph this using any graphing calculator up, this is a circle and a parabola. So it's either, if you will graph this, the circle and the parabola will never be having an intersection point. So that's it. That is why there's no solution. Okay, this last example, number 4. So number 4, we have equation. The first equation is a parabola. The second equation is a linear function. So the first is we are going to use equation A, solving for y in terms of x. So y, and then that x squared will become negative x squared. Then the positive 5 will be copied. This is now the value of our y in terms of x. So we will be now using equation B. So negative x plus y is equal to negative 1. So instead of writing y, we will be substituting the negative x squared plus 5 to the y in the second equation. So plus the y is negative x squared plus 5 is equal to negative 1. So we have to have negative x, positive times negative, that is negative x squared, and then positive times positive 5 will be still positive 5 is equal to negative 1. And then we are going to arrange them into decreasing order. So negative x squared will be the first term, followed by negative x, then the plus 5, and that negative 1 will be transposed now, that will become positive 1. Okay, so negative x squared minus x, then the plus 6, because 5 plus 1 is equal to 0. And then remember, it is convenient to factor out if the quadratic term is already positive. So we will be multiplying them negative 1 both sides, okay, to adjust the quadratic term into positive. So negative times negative, that will be positive x squared, and then that negative times negative, that will be positive x, and that negative times positive 6 will be negative 6 is equal to 0. And what are the factors of negative 6? That will give us a positive 1. Our middle term is 1 positive. So the factors are x plus 3, okay? So the factors are x plus 3 and x minus 1. Okay, why? Because positive 3 times negative 1, no, it's not negative 1, it's negative 2. So it's negative 2. Positive 3 times negative 2 will give us negative 6. And then if we will add positive 3 plus negative 2, it will give us a 1. So remember, there is understood, there is a 1 there. So therefore, the values of our x are negative 3 and positive 2. So we are done getting the numerical value of x, which are negative 3 and positive 2. So in getting the value of y, so getting the value of y, if x is equal to negative 3. So we will use the first equation. Anyway, we are already aware that any of the equation will be possible in solving the other numerical value. So x squared plus y is equal to 5. If x is equal to negative 3, so negative 3 squared plus y is equal to 5. That will be 9 plus y is equal to 5. So y is equal to 5 minus 9. So the y is equal to negative 4. So for a solution, we have negative 3 and negative 4. Then the second one will be, what will happen if x will be positive 2? If x is equal to 2, then what is the value of our y? So we will still use equation letter A. So x squared plus y is equal to 5. The x is 2, so 2 squared plus y is equal to 5. So y is equal to 5. The 2 squared will be positive 4, then transpose negative 4. So y is equal to 1. So the second solution to the system is 2 and 1. So in other words, this system has two solutions. We have negative 3, negative 4, and then the second is 2 and then 1. Okay, so I will leave to you the checking. Okay, so guys, I hope you've learned something from my video today, and if you've learned something, please do subscribe and do comment below, like and share. This has been Teacher Justina, and thank you for watching. That in all things, God may be glorified.